Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 5, I believe, of um,
Another one.
another one of Ironclaw, the King's Chosen. Last time we were, or the party was, in search of a would-be assassin, or the people behind the would-be assassin of either the ambassador, of a Calabrian ambassador, or episode 4, or somebody was trying to kill one of the members of the Privy Council, people who serve the king, the High King, uh, and they'd be investigating different things. So, without further ado, let's start from with Gregory, so they can tell us who their character are and
All right.
their calling.
I am playing Gregory Varkin III, a lion elementalist, who has a vain personality. His motto is that I am fit to be the king, and today I am trying to find out who ordered the assassination.
Next up, we have Harmon.
I am Harmon Tadero, a donkey, mule, soldier. Personality I've changed to stoic because that's the personality I've apparently been playing this whole time. Motto is, you need to know that you're in for the fight of your life. My goal is to discover who ordered the assassination. That's all.
Hidden?
Yep. So I'm hidden. I'm playing Dax, Cheetah Spy. My motto is "Fortune favors the bold." My goal is to also, figure out who's behind the assassination. And just as a heads up for the GM, I'm trading in the insider. We just got a session ago for the Stanfords, and as well as local knowledge in order to get night vision.
Okay. Nice. We have then Spencer.
Hello, I'm playing Spencer McDougall, the Calculating Raccoon Spellbinder. My motto is, the best secrets are those no one knows you to keep. And I am also looking to see who ordered that assassination, and I am also looking to best a threat to the crown.
But certainly not list. Presbyter Vesper.
Yes. Hello, world. I am Norman Rafferty. I'll be playing Presbyter Vesper, where my motto is, keep your faith alight, keep your powder dry. I'm a raccoon almoner, and my goal, of course, is also to find whoever this assassin was of the diplomats, but I still have my personal goal that I must find some sort of charitable contribution to give to the needy.
So, last time we were doing that, and a group of people went to investigate the circus, and another group of people went to search records to see about the smuggling operation. They smuggled some kind of weapons or other materials, and found that there had been some books that had been altered and have to deal with one Captain Jameson. So, what are you going to do next?
And I think that was me and Vesper who were doing that? Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so, well, we have a name here, a captain, and a boat we could perhaps investigate. What do you think? What's our exact course and goal here, do you think?
Well, we were going through the records, but I don't think we found anything useful in them, did we?
Right, we found more the absence of things, a suggestion that maybe something's being covered up by editing.
Okay, so you have the king's authority, which is to say you only have your nobility of noble blood. You don't actually have any other authority or any writ of anything else, right?
Right, I'll have to keep going back to the, what was it, a few more times in order to get additional writs if we wanted to do anything specific. Or we could just continue doing things under the table.
Yeah, the Lord, in this case, the Lady Chamberlain. Yeah.
There we go,
Okay.
Chamberlain, there we go.
We currently have nothing, then.
That would...
Well, you are a magistrate. So you do have the power to investigate.
But it
Right.
would behoove us to be as precise as possible rather than just going through grants of let us see all of your stuff to see if you're doing anything naughty.
Well, what I mean is you have authority over commoners, but not necessarily over the blooded. So if we
Of
tried to
course.
get aboard a ship and search the ship, they would ask us where the warrant is, because any ship, if the ship is, unless the ship is 100% owned by commoners, which is rare in this time period, the nobles would say you have no authority as I am a peer, not a subordinate, and wouldn't let us aboard there. So
Correct.
searching the ships, we do have to be on the down low, or we don't do it.
Right, and on the down low isn't necessarily my forte. So we might have to reconvene with Dax, that pure innocent soul of ours, who would definitely never do something on the down low like this, and
Honestly, I don't know why you'd involve them.
and see if perhaps we can come up with some kind of plan. So this is the point, I think, where we will wait to convene with everyone else. I think the other ones were busy at the circus, though.
I follow your lead, especially after the incidents that happened at the party, at the event. I am unfortunately in a long, dark night of the soul.
Well, I can suggest drinking it away. So, we'll wait to convene and share information.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, back to the circus. I think there was. You finished talking to Ronaldo, who was the one of the men that had been in at that night, who basically said, after much cajoling by his boss and you, that essentially they saw someone, strange person, that somehow was working there with them. He thought that he had been a hired hand, but his boss says that definitely not. That he didn't hire anybody for such a dangerous duty as handling explosives, and that seems to be a clue. But the description that he gives you, very vague description, kind of fits what was left of the assassin inside the carriage. So, at best, you know that the circus was used as a front. Somebody used the fact that the circus was there. Apparently, their plan was very simple: to use the fireworks as cover to get close enough to commit the murder and then escape. But since you were there and you noticed what was happening, you were able to pursue and chase him down and, well, recover his body. So are you going to reconvene, or we have any other things that you want to tackle before in the circus?
Sorry, you're talking to me and Spencer? I totally was zoned out.
Yeah, that would be the people who were at the circus, which I believe was in fact Spencer and Dax.
So they were going through all the costumes to see if any were missing. It's the last thing
Yes.
I remember from this time.
Yeah, they had, in fact, yeah, that's how the session ended, with these piles of clothes that are being taken out. Basically, what they do for the fireworks is they basically have these heavy aprons, very similar to a blacksmith, right, to prevent anything, any ember, something like that might burn them, give them a chance to put themselves off. And yeah, they count them, and there's at least one missing. But the thing is, they have name tags, right? They have like the costume lady knows who it fits to whom, right? And she realizes that they haven't seen the person who it belonged to in quite a while. Like,
Oh boy.
where's Raffaele? Where is he? He's a sweet soul. Where is he? What happened to him? I haven't seen him. I told you, I'm a lady. I'm sorry. I'm very, very busy with everybody coming. And you see, like, she took, like, tied trunks of clothing and racks. I mean, for all the shows and stuff like that, it took you quite a bit of time for her to just get in. And now she has several servants who are now putting it all back together where it needs to go. Apparently she has some kind of system. So it's about 4 or 5 people here for all the custom, the ringmaster, the different things, different shows, etc. To have things with ties and everything. So it's an elaborate production.
Are there any other costumes missing?
No, they're all accounted, and she actually went with Dax and Vesper, one by one, and she took her time to describe which one what is whatever. Even though you were like, no, we just want to focus on this particular. She was, no, but I mean, this is very fine lace. Yeah, it took me a while. It breaks very easily. I have to always check it, and you're like, okay, whatever. But it took you a while for that to do that. So they say that Raffaele is nowhere to be found.
Okay. Oh, when was the last time anybody saw him?
Well, this morning. He should have been here this morning. I mean, you have to pick up all your stuff and here and usually he also works with the wild animals and the raised species. So he has his own costume, and she goes back and there's basically the one that she talks about is very freely, like almost like a clown costume, right? Um, it has the idea of being more like a rodeo clown, right? That's his job, right? That this guy is basically doing all the the very difficult stuff. It actually seems rather short, even for it seems to be fitted for a rat and even a relatively short rat. That seems to be his things. Like that is what he's doing. So nobody seems to have found him, right?
They weren't expecting him last night at the party.
I suppose they were. I mean, he's supposed to get his heavy suit to help the other men. Yes, my lady. I do not know. I just, need to.
Okay. Are any other of his outfits for whatever else with the animals or anything missing?
No, they don't seem to be missing.
Okay. Cool.
So this was a focus job in mind speech.
Yeah. Seems like. What do you know about this guy?
Raffaele?
Yeah.
Oh.
How long has he been with the troop?
He's always been about 7 months with us. He, before we came over, a very sweet boy. His father used to work here, and I believe also his grandfather. This is a very long-running circus, so we have had generations of people working here. But Raffaele said it as well known. Yes, but he's Raffaele the second. So you would. Oh, is he the third? All right. They breed like, and she sort of shuts her mouth like, I'm gonna say that out loud, because all things she's a bunny, right? She's a rabbit. So like, well, that's the thing. Sorry. There's a lot of Raffaellis, yes.
Such behavior in the Middle Ages. Like, do not condone this.
Yeah.
Did he get along with everyone?
As far as I know, yes. He was young. He was a good boy. Good boy. Yes. How about nothing has happened to him? Now that I think about it.
Oh, where do you guys stay, by the way? You guys have rooms here?
They have tents, like smaller tents.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a tent here. The larger ones are for animals. They have like the rolling stock for the cages for the animals and different mobile plants and stuff. Like very dangerous creatures here, and that's it.
Spencer, do you have any questions for her while we're here?
You seem to have covered everything I was going to ask and more, so thank you.
Okay. Before we
I've been here wondering what happened to poor Raffaele.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to talk to the ringleader and see if he was expected last night and who noticed he wasn't there. Did anyone notice that he was gone?
Yeah, especially the fireworks master. Or is he also the ringleader?
No, he had somebody who. I mean, when he brought in everybody, he included the fireworks master who's there, and he was the one who, sort of. There were two people who actually got very heated because three people were talking. Fireworks master. We lost.
Oh, yeah, we lost the theta.
And I'd like to take a moment to check my air conditioner because it's also down.
All right, a little bit of camera panic, everyone.
Welcome back.
There we go.
Sorry, that was my fault. I misclicked something.
Whoops.
Harmon is back. Okay, cool. Theta. Yes. And you talk to them, and yeah, of course he was expected, right? I mean, Raffaele is one of those people who does multiple jobs. Like his main job is to be like the rodeo clown type, but he also helps around, right? He's a younger recruit essentially to the circus, so they have him running around. He's a gopher boy, right? Well, not literally a gopher, but close enough, right? Do this,
Gotta be
do
careful in
that.
this kind of world.
Yes. And so that basically is, and everybody sort of knows him, right? That he's like the younger member of the party, and the more you ask, the more people start getting worried, because word has spread about not only what happened last night, but the fact that you're investigating. So people are like, they're hoping that nothing has happened. You start hearing murmurs around. It's like, oh, Purafieri, I wonder he's all right, where he could be, etc. People are starting to get very nervous.
We should probably start asking them when they saw him last.
Yeah.
Basically, about yesterday morning. So they saw him all day yesterday. You ask different people, it's like where he could have been, etc. So people have spotted him all day yesterday. Yesterday, yeah, because it was last night was the attempted murder, so this morning they haven't seen him, but nobody saw him last night.
Okay.
And nobody. So whatever happened in the late afternoon, early evening.
Can we see his tent where he stays?
Yeah, it's a communal tent, right? Everybody has basically like a small trunk, and they have hammocks and bedding. It's kind of chaotic, right?
Does it look packed up? Does it like his regular size?
Oh, it looks like it has. Yeah, it's like a little bit of a pillow there. At the same time, stitched. With a couple of hearts on it.
So it looks like his personal effects are still here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, doesn't look like he was necessarily in on it, or he probably would have packed his stuff up to go.
Yes, I think there's been foul play.
All right, we should probably meet back up with the group.
Yes.
So we're gonna go head back and try to find everybody.
Yes, welcome back to my estate. Welcome. I see the butler saw you in. I have drinks ready already.
Yeah, it's early evening right now, so they're starting serving food, dinner.
Yes, you'll stay for dinner, won't you?
Dinner will be ready. So, in a moment. Sort of walks away. You're ready. They have whatever drinks you Gregory offers to the group, and I guess you're going over the details of what you know so far. This first day of investigation.
Right. And I'll go ahead and share my part, where we have what seems to be a possible bit of smuggling on the ship the circus came in, with a Captain Jameson. It's uncertain whether that smuggling is actually involved with the assassination itself, but proximity means that it's perhaps likely. Meanwhile, I believe on your end, you say you found a missing person.
Well, we haven't found. That's the problem.
Well, you found he was missing.
Yes.
So, it would seem like figuring out what his fate is would actually be very important. If we happen to know where the assassin was operating from, or pick up any kind of scent of his original trail, maybe it could lead us back to whatever pack he was a part of.
This is when I should have taken locating instead of mind reading.
Right. And meanwhile, with the ship, I'm not necessarily certain I want to go out on a limb and investigate that with the full authority of the crown behind me or anything. But a quick little peek might indicate if we're on the right track with that, and if we are, we can interrogate Jameson later about it. So those seem like the way forward right now. Does anyone else have any other thoughts?
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Yes.
All right. Then, once again, I might say perhaps we should split into two groups. One to try to see if they can find the trail of this missing person, and the other one to see what Captain Jameson's up to, and what his cargo might be.
I'm not, despite my raccoon providence, I'm not built for stealth. I'm built for conversation.
Right, so you should accompany me then, and we'll go investigate the murder.
So that would be
And
you, Harmon, and myself on Team Talk, and then these two on Team Footwork.
Right.
I was thinking I might want to be there with the captain so I can potentially learn everything without
Right.
asking.
So, once again, you and Dax will be working together. And we're just simply
Yeah.
shifting positions then.
Spencer, I think they're putting us to go talk to the captain. What exactly do we want to? We believe he brought something illegally into the country. Do we have any pretense for why?
Well, we have these papers here, which you'll notice the fine cut upon it, and I'll hand them over to you. These are shipping manifests, and as you can tell, they've been slightly edited, if you have a keen eye like Vesper's. I believe that means that there must be something surreptitious happening, probably smuggling. What it is, though, we don't know until we see what the goods are.
I see. So you'd like us to go and see if there's anything unusual about the captain.
Right,
His
the
work.
captain and his cargo. Because if the cargo's bad, then the captain's probably bad. And maybe that'll be another lead for us to investigate. So I leave that into your two capable hands, and we'll go to the circus, we'll ask a few questions, and we'll see where we can go from there. Unless you knew, like, where he last was already.
He was last seen at the circus yesterday afternoon, but was not seen last night at the event.
I thought it was all
Okay.
day. All day yesterday, and he went missing the morning of the attack.
Oh, he didn't. Nobody saw him the next morning, but the last time people talked was in the afternoon. Early evening.
Okay.
Okay.
So technically, he's missing that night and then the morning.
Alright, so it's
After
up to
that.
us to track that down.
Okay. It's now evening, so you're gonna go out into outside of the city walls to go to the circus.
Mm-hmm.
And where are you gonna go hunting for those who are going hunting for Captain Jameson? Where are you going?
Well, not even Jameson, just a ship. We have the ship's name here, even.
Yeah.
And the
I
harbor it
would
pulled
pro-
into.
Yeah.
What is the name?
Sorry. What? Can you repeat your question, Spencer? I think it's a good one.
Oh, what was the name of the ship?
Shit, I forgot the name.
Yeah, I don't think you actually said one last time, but I'm going to presume that it's probably written down somewhere.
Yeah, it's let's call it the. No, there's no whale here. So yeah, the lucky whale.
Yeah, Spencer. If you have any ideas, let me know. Otherwise, my first inclination would be, let's find out where this captain likes to go get a drink in the evenings.
Yes. His whole crew probably comes with him unless he picks a better establishment than they can afford.
Yeah. So we'll probably, I guess, head down to the docks and try to ask around about the captain.
Yes.
And it's particularly where he likes to drink and hang out, but also about him in general, which I guess would be gossip.
Yes.
As it's evening and you're going down to the wharfs of the river, you in between. This place is actually very crowded. The bar, the inns, the taverns, are now very crowded as all the sailors and the fishermen and people who, work in this area or adjacent to this area crowd in. Crowd in to drink their wages away until the ship sails, right? So you have new ships coming in or people preparing to go out. You see members of what's called the River Watch, which is the City Watch has, there's a City Watch, and the River Watch in particular is notorious for being very high-handed, and also serving at times as a press gang for whatever's needed, right? Maybe a noble says that they need some crew, and they go and just beat up whatever sailors or people who think they can be sailors into pressing them into labor, or they somebody runs into trouble. It's like, oh, you want to get out of this? Well, off you go into ship. We'll see you in 6 months or whatever, right? Whatever, so that seems to be, and so people tend to give the River Watch a wide berth. They usually travel in packs of 4 or 8, with truncheons mostly, which is the best way to subdue a rowdy drunk. So you literally see this group of River Watch coming in, and people sort of like the part in the sea, right? It's like they get out of the way, and you probably do the same. They pass, they give Dax a look. It's a mixed group of basically commoners. You have cats, you have rats, you have different types, and they sort of look at you up and down. You just keep walking. As you ask around for some of them, you find several taverns. You go in and out of taverns, right? So make a gossip roll for me.
All right. Do you want me to assist, or do you have team player?
I don't have team player. So,
How many? What's your dying gossip?
Yeah. Let me find that. Just a sec. Gossip D6. Well, cheers.
I have a mind D8 and a gossip at D6, so it could go either way.
Yeah,
I'll let you lead, so I'll do the assist.
Okay. Is that what it is? Mind and gossip? Because then I have the same die. Yeah, D8, D6.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'll let you go first then to see if there's a.
You get a D8.
Okay, cool.
Forgot to change my name in the as column.
You got
They're
you got a 5.
fives.
Yeah, you got 2 5s. Yeah, you start. Most of the people here are either already drunk or in the process of getting drunk, and you see prostitutes coming in and out, and all kinds of things. You see, a little lizard sort of darting between people's legs to grab whatever food falls on the floor. Most of these places are the smell between the inside of one of these taverns and the outside is the difference is negligible. The only difference is more of the sound of it. People, see chanties and laughter and even a few fist fights and the like. And as you come in, you see a very tall rat. As you do the asking around about for the captain, Captain Jameson, and a rather large table surrounded by about 6 or 7 of his crew. Most of them also rodents as well, different types. And so he's there, and he's he's mostly listening to the banter of his crew, but just sort of drinking quietly and not saying much. If you want to get in the group, it will be very difficult because they're very much shoulder to shoulder, right? And they're doing the thing where people drink where they're like this, so they have one shoulder outside, either order drinks or get out right easily and come back in rather than sort of being side by side. So these are apparently experienced tavern goers. So what's going to be your approach to this now that you have found the captain of the wailing well?
Did we get any information besides that he frequents this bar? Like, I'm curious in particular if he sleeps on the boat or if he gets rooms at this place.
Yeah, with that role, I think you do get in. Yeah, that he mostly sleeps in the ship, right? He, and it seems that he's the kind of captain that has a very tight crew around him, right? Some captains again use press gangs or hire on the go, right? But his and his crew seem to be some he's experienced captains tend to attract recurring crew because they feel safe with them and they get their pay, etc. So he seems to have a good reputation as somebody who is people want to sail with him, right? Because he is a fair taskmaster, and pays on time, etc. All the avoids most of the problems that most captains, especially younger captains, tend to have, or because they're developing the reputation.
So there's no talk of him having shady dealings.
Not you know of, at least nothing that the thing is that people are not going to talk about that either because they don't know or they don't care, right? Either way, it's like what is shady dealings for them? It's like we do what we do, right? It's why
What do you want to do, Spencer? So let's say put you over in the corner. Think we should speak to him first, or should we see if we can get onto his ship? Search it.
I say speak to him, let him know why we're here, and see if he protests to us searching his ship. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, I could, do my thought reading thing in the background and hopefully not get noticed.
Sure.
The only way they could notice is if they succeed by 5 or more on their resist.
Okay.
So would Dax causing a distraction give me a bonus to the spell casting or not?
Well, it depends. If there's two ways to go about it. Distraction could lower their defenses, but if her questioning is along the lines of what you want to find out, that would make it easier for you to sort of dig in because the mind is not like a data file where you just go in, click in, and open, right? It's different thoughts, ideas coming in. These people are drinking as well, so they're a little impaired. And not enough to get you a penalty, but it's something you have to contend with. And so it depends on the approach. If Dax is just sort of making like conversation so that they're they are buying them drinks and stuff, and so they're distracted, it's easier to get in. But if Dax says, what I want to do is want to make probing questions, so you basically tag team the mind, as it were, from outside and inside in a way, then that will get you more accurate information. Get to because you basically get the person to think about what you're trying to get them to do, right? And so they bring it up in their mind is much easier rather than just sort of trying to dig in deep and assorted thoughts. And they look at somebody who's walking around, maybe they have a feud with them, or they see one of the wenches is like, well, I have a couple of dinars in my pocket, whatever it is that they're thinking at any moment, right? So you have those two approaches when you want to sort of attack a subject together.
I'm wondering, this might be more of a Rafferty call, but in with a mental spell that is resisted, would drunkenness give the caster versus a drunken victim a bonus?
The problem is your spell is resisted. Drunkenness creates confusion. Confusion does reduce your resistance to a lot of spells, but not mind reading. It's harder to read the mind of someone who's confused.
Yeah, because then it's like it's been fragged, like a hard drive, rather than a doom victim. Like, what is the opposite of a defragged hard drive?
A dead one.
A properly ordered one with no free spaces.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess Dax will start with the line of questioning, and during that, Spencer will try to target 12 people around the captain to see which one can give him the goods.
Okay.
So you're interested in the whole crew, not just the captain.
Well, I can target 12 people with this spell, so I might as well. And if the captain happens to have a high enough deceit, which he might if he's smuggling, then he could easily resist this.
I was going to target, like, in terms of talking, I was just going to talk to him. Do you need me to be kind of asking questions to the whole group?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound like it's going to cause a tangible dice bonus to my spell if you do distract them, so I might as well just cast it raw and kind of use you as cover so nobody notices the raccoon in the corner staring at people with those eyes, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I'll try to ham it up a little bit then too, make it look odd that I'm having this conversation with him. So I think I'm going to kind of sidle up to the bar next to the captain and order a drink. And once it arrives, I'm gonna kind of like say, kind of quietly under my breath to the captain, like I know you're smuggling goods. I have proof. Come talk to me. Are there any tables or anything? I should ask this first. Any tables or booths that are free? Anything?
It's pretty crowded. People are coming back and back and forth, right? They were able to sort of seize this table by the sheer numbers, right? Or maybe they got early enough so it was emptier. So you could find a stool, or maybe close to the bar, maybe you can sit, or you can do sort of like a flyby where you sort of run around, whisper, and maybe rest against a nearby pillar or something.
Yeah, I basically want to move him away from the bar and make it clear he's coming over to have a conversation with me. So yeah, I want to say, like, I have proof of your smuggling. Like, if you want to keep me from taking this to the authorities.
That would be a mind stealth, because you want to say it quietly enough so the others don't listen, and you want to catch their attention, so you're sort of focusing. So yeah.
Cool.
And would you want to add inquiry in that, because that is what Dax is doing?
Yes.
Okay, so just to clarify, so it's mind, stealth, and inquiry?
Yeah.
Okay. 2d6.
Ooh, 2 1s, but you got an 8. Okay.
And a 7. 2 successes are better than 1.
Yeah, that's true. His ear twitches as you pass by, so he basically seems to have caught the message. And he sort of excuses himself. All right, Captain, we'll order another round for you to come back. Like, right, boys, be right back. And sort of wanders in your direction. He has a drink in hand. It's like, what's this about? Some smuggling. I don't like to be accused of things I don't do.
Are you going to claim you don't smuggle? You don't change the record?
I don't mess with no records. So, that's not my job. I carry stuff for people. That's what I do.
You carry stuff for people, but not always the people that get recorded.
Well, like I said, it's not my job to deal with any records. I sign in the dotted line, so to speak.
Who does deal with records on your ship then?
Oh, that will be my first mate.
I have these records here. I'm going to show him the papers where this has clearly been tampered with.
So like he looks down, but of course the light on like.
All right. To interject real quick, is the captain near the first mate? Because, like I said, I'm trying to get.
They're not very far away. They're all there in the table. So if you want to get them all, yeah, you can. Yeah.
All right. So while he's while Dax is, speaking to him and interrogating him,
and I just
Spencer will
say,
do his thing.
Since I think there's a sign from this that it might not be the captain, I'm going to kind of be raising my voice a bit louder and kind of like waving the papers a little more visibly around. So if the first mate is watching, he might be able to tell what this conversation's about.
So the first mate got a 6, but he didn't beat it by 5. So yeah.
Well, you have to do the captain, the first mate, and the other 10 people around them.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Now, when you cast a spell, you can choose who you're casting it on. So, are you casting it on everybody?
Yes. If I don't get the important people, maybe I might, on some off chance, get somebody who does know.
This one is for the.
So to clarify, the way the thought reading spell works is he casts a spell and he casts it on a group of up to a dozen people. Everyone in the dozen people he casts it on rolls to resist. Those that successfully resist, if any of them succeed by 5 or more, or have the skill of supernatural, might notice that he casts a spell. Out of all the people who failed, whoever rolls the absolute lowest, that person is the one whose mind he's reading. In other words, he casts a net, finds the weakest mind, and he reads that one.
Yeah,
That was the first one is the captain. These are I'm gonna go for the other sailors that are putting them and kind of bunch them together, so I don't have to roll too much.
Right. Now, what this usually means is he'll usually wind up reading the mind of the dumbest, weakest-willed person.
Yeah. So already he's reading probably the minds of several of the sailors, or one of the sailors. And
He only gets one of them, but he gets the weakest mind.
Let's see what the first mate. He also gets a D6. Okay, yeah. Basically, you're getting the sailors. One of the sailors who apparently he's like a bit drunk.
All right. I did get him. I have surface thoughts until the end of the scene, so Spencer will be monitoring those to see if he thinks about like, oh shit, we might be made, something like that.
You basically get thoughts like his eyes. He's a bit, mine is a bit cloudy, but he's looking at the captain like. But the thought is like, oh, maybe some trouble. Better be careful now. And you can see in his mind how he's reaching for his knife, but it's more like somebody might get into a fight. He's sort of fighting. He had that thing between fight and flee, but he gets kind of drunk. Is like, well, maybe he's, and he sort of, elbows on the other sailors like, look at the captain. Yes, he seems to be waving some papers and stuff. I don't know what that is, but if he goes for something or other, we got to be ready. Back him up. Like, we should do it now. It's like, no, it's just trust the captain. He knows what he's doing, but you got to be ready though, just in case. So yeah, what you get is basically they see the movement. They think the captain is in some kind of trouble. They can feel the air, but they are not sure what it is because they're sailors, right? They do what they're told, right? So surface thought is, yeah.
So the best Spencer can do is just send a thought speech to Dax, just saying at least one crewman is considering a fight. Be on your guard.
I can't thought speech back, right?
No.
Yeah.
That would take me thought reading you, and I just use mine up for the day.
Yeah, no worries. Just double checking. All right, so I'm talking, and the captain's denying knowing any of this. He doesn't have anything to do with this.
Basically, it's like I don't know what you're talking about, right? He's playing defense, right? He's like waving a paper in my face. I don't know. I carry what I'm paid to carry. So that's what I do.
Yeah, but paid not always through legal channels. Sometimes maybe people.
All the money's good. All the money's legal. All my dinners are legal.
Is good, but not always. The items might not be actually allowed.
Okay, since you're probing deeper, basically, you're sort of trying to intimidate him a little bit. That would be might actually be, yeah. Instead of mind, it should be will.
Okay.
In- interrogation will, and if you have any ability to intimidate or otherwise,
I have streetwise. Is
you can use streetwise. Yeah.
Okay. Can you repeat those again? So it's will, it's
Will, streetwise, and inquiry.
inquiry. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Ooh, all right. Well, I got a 5.
He sort of smiles. It's like, well, if you have any cargo that you want to me to carry or fetch for you, I can do that for the right price. But if not, we have no business, and I have to go back to my crew. They get very antsy when they're not getting their drinks. You know what I mean?
No, thank you. I think we're now on the same page. I'm gonna fold up the things and I'll be like, there is something I need you to get for me. My cousin in Cambria, he has been trying to send me some munitions that are not actually legal to come into this port, and I've been looking for someone such as yourself to help me achieve those. I will keep. I can keep a lid on this, and when you deliver.
Well, that requires a little bit more than just money. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Well, see, you can only pay people so much. Then other people's had to pull in rank, and that seems to be very dicey. I only do those kind of favors for people who are well placed, and for anybody who walks in the door. Anything can be done with our money, right? How can I say, station? But you don't seem to me like you have the ladder. You can pay me all you want, but if the magistrate starts kicking out the door or boarding my ship, I'll be done for. I have that.
How about I trade you for information, and then come back to you and see if I can match the level. For example, there's an item here, and I flip through the page. That was clearly brought in the night of the whatever the night was the circus came.
Yeah.
And who were you working for then? If you tell me this, then I can find a benefactor, so to speak, that can help solve this problem for both of us. So you have what you need in addition to money. If I can match the rank of this person you name.
Can you now? You got any proof of that?
I need to know who it is first to know whether whether my benefactor is of the same level.
Well, let's just say that same night. Yeah, I was asked to bring something, little small boxes, really. I want for me to pick. Lady Veritas sometimes hires me to get her some items from Calabria here and there.
Lady
But
Veritas.
but I would warn you, she can be very vindictive. So whoever your patron is, well, they better be careful. And one more thing, I know your face now. If I ever see you without any patronage assured, you'll not see me again.
Of course. No, I believe I have a patron of a suitable level. Can vouch for me, and we can get you what you need.
Right. Well then, you do
Till
that.
next time.
Next time, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
And he sits down basically, and other one of them, sort of whispers in his ears, like, it's okay.
I'm gonna finish my
Yeah,
beer,
you finish it. Yeah,
and I'm gonna head outside.
Mm-hmm. This AC keeps going off. I'm not even gonna bother getting up. So, back to the circus. So it's Harmon, Griffin, not Griffin, Gregory, and
Vesper.
Vesper. It's dark now, and you're pushing, and you can see the circus because they have lamps, light, and all that.
Yeah, people are
you
still
also
awake.
you hear the roar of animals. Haven't quite gone to sleep yet. How are you gonna approach this?
I'll probably start walking around and introducing myself and say, "Oh, perhaps you saw one of my friends earlier. They may have asked a few questions. I want to ask a few more and see if I can figure out exactly when is the last time this person has been here. Where may you have seen them gone off to? Were they with anyone? Did they talk about going anywhere or doing anything?" So I'm doing
for a gossip roll.
Yeah, this is more or less gossip and or inquiry. They're ultimately kind of the same for me. And Vesper, are you good at either of those?
I know the common people very well, the salt of the earth. I can gossip with the best of them.
Then maybe you should take the lead and I'll assist you because I can give you a bigger dice for it.
That makes sense to me.
All right. So, if we're going around gossiping, what would you call that? Mind or will?
Depends on if you're trying to. Well, let's say mind, because will, it's more. I find it more so trying to intimidate people, impose.
We're trying to gather information. I agree.
Information, right? You're taking information, and in many ways, you're trying to narrow it down. Anybody who specifically might have seen him at one point, right? You have the general gist of what's going on. Now you're trying to pinpoint a person that has some very specific information.
And so, who are the people we're talking to today?
We're back in the circus, so you're talking to basically the same people you talked to earlier. No, the other group talked to earlier.
Excellent. I still have my local knowledge. I haven't sold that back, which also applies to this.
As do I, actually. So I should go ahead and add that into mine.
Please do.
It's a bonus D12.
All right, that is 2 successes. You will get an extra D12 from me. Congratulations.
So we spent an hour talking to the locals.
Yeah, basically pinning down exact details.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You narrow it down to literally the last time he was seen was when they were arriving at the manor.
Mm-hmm.
And as they were unpacking stuff and doing all things, everybody went and were doing their thing, right? And does anybody remember seeing him? But since everybody was very busy, of course, now, basically one of the things is that people's mind has been sharpened because the possibility that Raffaele could be hurt or even dead is now spread throughout the circus. And it's a big family. Everybody takes care of each other. So people are very eager to help you, right? They're very worried about little Raffaele, right? It's like, he's, what could have happened? And there's a lot of rumors and stuff like that. So people, when the other group left, everybody started asking each other and gossiping. And it's like, and that's why you wasn't using gossip because there was a lot of talk about, but I saw him there. It's like, oh no, he's over there, etc. Right? There was a lot of that talk, and that's where you come in. And also because there's a man of the cloth, that sort of help people sort of be at ease. The combination of being a man of the cloth and a man of authority.
But I'm not from the local religion. I'm from a different faith.
Yeah, but remember, these people are from Calabria, most of them.
So they share your faith,
that's
actually.
Right.
Yeah. So they are.
Oh, well, they're from Calabria. I don't have local knowledge of that, so I only have 3 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would only get that bonus with people I had insider or connection with. But anyway, I have 3 successes. So they're very forthcoming. They give us lots of details. We listen to all their stories, corroborate them together. Any good news about Raphael, I guess?
the good news seems to be, well, the news as it is that they last saw him right up when they arrive at the estate of the ambassador, the manor house. And
But he's not here now.
But he's not here now, so he may still be out there somewhere.
Is his stuff still here?
Well, the clothing that he was wearing the heavy apron stuff like that is not there, but the rest of the stuff is.
So he didn't take his go bag. He must have left without planning. Did he leave anything like important behind, like money or mementos?
A bit of money, a few coins, letters.
Yeah, he left money behind. He left in a hurry.
Yeah, or he was planning to come back. Right?
Yeah, but he's not come back.
Right. The thing that seems likely is that he was ambushed, his clothing stolen at the point, and well, it might behoove us to look for the body one way or another.
Can we find anything of Raphael's that has personal significance to him?
You find, very interesting, you find that several letters.
Ooh.
Raphael could read. That's impressive.
Yes, he could read. Which is, you feel like, what? I mean, most people here cannot, except for maybe a few of the.
Who runs away to join the circus if you can read?
Well, the way it was described, he didn't actually run away from to run the circus. Their participation on the circus has been something that's been done for family. So, his father and grandfather apparently also work on this particular circus. This is a long-running circus, and so he has a family ties with it. As you read the letters, you realize that it's basically his mother, who is like, "I hope you're well. Take care of yourself. I know you want to go into priesthood, but we're still working on that, right? Which is a good path for someone who is of a lower status."
Yes, priesthood, clownery, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, and he's trying to, improve his life. But in the meantime, of course, he's working on the circus, so has a job, and he had connections, family connections, so he was learning the ropes.
I will take down the names and addresses, but I will not take the letters. I was hoping we might find something that is personally significant. So if we were to cast any magical spells to douse for his location, we would have something significant. But it looks like there isn't much here.
I think the letter may still account.
There's a small little pillow. I mentioned this before, with hearts, woven into them, like a quilted little pillow.
It is a dirty part of our investigative business that we must take his love pillow with us.
I'll just take this into the bag.
Yeah.
Let's make Harmon carry it.
Although it seems more like a keepsake, like maybe her parent or something had woven it.
That's a keepsake. All right, good. Let's call it that and leave it at that.
So, if truly necessary. So, that does leave us with going to the last play scene, which is the manor, asking if we can look around, and then doing a look around and see if we can find maybe if his body is still there, because maybe there might be additional evidence, but...
I would agree that a lot of this is pointing to foul play. Raphael definitely intended to come back, and if his... Yes, an assassin ambushing him and disguising himself as him to use his credentials to get in. Sigh. Let us hope for the best.
Now, here's something on my mind in particular. One, nobody noticed him get attacked, and no one heard him either. So it had to have happened quickly. Two, the fellow we found only had guns. And third of all, there was no blood on the outfit, such that would give him away, I believe. Otherwise, that would be noticeable.
Couple things here. First of all, it's almost as if the person who ambushed him might have been skilled at dispatching someone stealthily.
Exactly.
Like a spy or assassin. Secondly, did you find any blood under the claws or on the gums of the person that we found?
Unfortunately, they were very mangled, and that consideration could not possibly come up.
Right. I mean, feel it's my duty to remind everyone that we are a game of Anthropomorphs, and everyone is armed all the time.
Yeah, but again, of course, if their snout is covered in blood, that'd also be a little noticeable. So,
I imagine they have techniques for doing that. In fact, one problem is if they were dressed in mummery, it's possible to cover that with makeup. What species is Raphael and the assassin again?
The assassin was
both
a
of them
rat.
are rats.